Hello everybody and welcome to Scorched Earth with a Difference. My name is Marion and I'm one of Carrie's friends who are going to be creating content for her while she relocates and sets up her new life. So we're all very excited and very happy for her, and I'm so excited to be here to have been invited by Carrie to come and introduce myself to all you lovely people, and it's a little bit daunting even though I've been doing this for a long time, but yeah, so I thought that what I would do is just pull some cards, just do a wee general reading for June 2024 and see what energies we've got coming up. I will be creating the 12 monthly videos for each of the zodiac signs for July, but I thought, in the interim, and just because of, the time and the circumstances of everything, I would just do this, so you can get used to my reading style a wee bit, and I can get used to getting to know all you. Alright, so as I say, it's just going to be a wee quickish 3-card reading, but first of all we're going to pull a card from the Oracle of Pluto. Now the Oracle of Pluto is all about, as it says in the tin, Pluto, and as we know, Pluto's all about the shadow, and it's shadow puppets that are made up in the images of the cards. So I thought that would be a nice wee kind of a break the ice introduction. Let's dive into the shadow. Oh yes, but we'll pull one of these and we'll see, if we can glean some insight for June. So I hope you're all well. Hope you're having fun when you see this, or you're just waiting with anticipation, like what is this crazy Scottish lady going to tell me for June? Hopefully there will be a message that makes sense to you. Right, let's see. Let's feel when they're ready. Right, that a one. Okay, so lovely. Okay, so, and I will hold the cards up. I've not quite mastered the whole camera top down thing yet, but I assure you, when it comes to doing the monthly readings for the signs, I will, by hook or by crook, you will be able to see onto the reading surface. Okay, so what we've got here is whitetail. Now this looks like to me like a stag, and it's as you can see, I'm so sorry about the titles. It's my camera, it doesn't want to pick up on words. I know, the dramas of technology. So as you can see here, there is a stag and the outline of shadows and puppets on the wall. So for me, when I see a stag, it's naturally very reminiscent of the lone stag, kind of up in the moors and up in the hills of Scotland. But obviously there's deer and stag all over the world, in various, all different kind of parts. I think pretty much every continent has got a version of a stag or a deer, or or Bambi, if you like. And for me, it talks of this month. There's going to be parts of ourselves that maybe need to be allowed to have some freedom, is what I'm picking up on. Like feel the freedom of escaping almost. There seems to be this kind of a need to escape. Now, okay, it's vacation season in the Northern Hemisphere, but it's more than that. There's a part of yourself that you've perhaps been harbouring, and kind of swallowing down, where you don't feel like you can expose that part of yourself, you know, it's like kind of a like white tail, you know, it's like kind of flashing the wee, you know, we've all seen that, you know, where it's like either the deer, the antelope or whatever, where it's like kind of a flashing its wee white tail and just running through its environment, you know, running through its terrain, whatever terrain that is. And I do feel like it's time. You know, like let June 2023 be the month or be the part of the year where you make the decision to release that part of yourself, to let it be free, to enjoy it, you know. And it could be as well, you know, like deer tend to be, or like stags, you know, tend to be, unfortunately, one of those creatures that tend to be hunted, whether that's by other animal predators or sadly by humans. So you know, that could be another aspect of your shadow, whereby you have felt like, you know, you're like kind of hunted in the sense that whenever you've kind of dared to be yourself, you know, it's been kind of dragged down. You know, it's like, no, you don't behave like that. This is how you need to behave. And you've been kind of curtailed into behaving in a certain way, and your shadows just jump up and say, no, we're going to be free. You know, we're going to go and run and visit yourself, you know, visit that inner side of yourself that you know has been basically hidden for too long, you know. So express yourself is what I think I'm trying to say, you know, express yourself and give yourself permission to express yourself. Okay, so we'll leave that out there, and then we will pull some cards from the tarot. Okay, now the deck I'm using, the tarot deck that I'm using, is the Fortuna tarot deck, and what I'll do is I will pop the details of the cards that I use down below in the description box, because I think there's nothing more frustrating if you're watching something on YouTube and you're really enjoying the imagery of the tarot cards that the person's using, and they don't tell you, you know, what that deck is. It's so frustrating. At least it is for me personally. So let's have a look and see what we've got. We can have 3 cards for June 2024. Gosh, who can believe it's 2024 already? I know people say that, but it doesn't feel like it. Maybe it's just because I'm kind of getting on a bit. I don't know. Seems like when you were a kid, summers lasted forever, didn't they? And now it's a bit like blink and you miss it. Right, let's see. Okay. Oh, right, okay. So clearly it's going to be a big month. Right, now the shadow card, or the card at the bottom of the deck, is the Princess. Oops. Is the Princess of Keys. Now the Princess of Keys, keys in this deck are swords, and the Princess is the Page. So we've got a Page of Swords here at the bottom of the deck. So we've got that initiatory energy coming through. And it's very much that you know, that kind of student energy. We're wanting to learn something. We're wanting to expand our mind, right? So what cards have we got coming up here? Now, I did shuffle this deck really well, and it is a very well shuffled deck. But we have got, first out of the gate, we have got the Magician here. So that Mercurial energy, and we're in Gemini season, so that kind of ties in, you know, that makes a bit of sense. We have got the Empress. Okay, Venus energy, and we've got our counterpart, the Emperor. So 3 major arcana cards all coming out, and yeah, it's possible. Of course it's possible, because it just came out, but 3 majors all coming out. for a deck of 78 cards. What is June? What possibilities has June got in store for us? So right away I'm thinking, we've got, the Mercury energy. Of course it's Gemini season, as I've said, and happy birthday Gemini if you're watching this. I hope you're having excellent birthdays and get fabulous things planned with lots of people and lots of chatter and lots of good times. So the Magician here, it's very much, I think there's very much that opportunity here to heal methods of communication. That's the message that's coming through here. I don't know if it's because of the caduceus here and this particular imagery that's making me feel like that, but it does feel like there's an opportunity here to, and then we've also got the infinity symbol here. Again, I'm so sorry about this camera. So we've got the infinity symbol here, and it makes me feel like there is infinite possibilities this month. It's basically what you set your mind to, because remember, Mercury is all about the mind. Gemini season, it's all of the mind, it's how we communicate. There is an infinite possibility for whatever you desire to set the wheels in motion. And there is things, you could be, and what I'm feeling like is, you could be in a position where you feel like, you've been doing the work and you've been, setting yourself targets and setting yourself goals, and you've got these ambitions, and it just doesn't feel as if things are working, it just doesn't feel like things are happening the way that you intended them to. And let's face it, the universe just doesn't work like that. It's like we put it out there and we're very clear, as long as we're very clear, but sometimes we don't get what we think we want, because actually there's something better waiting on us. So I feel like, if some of you are in that kind of frustrated place where it's like, oh, when is this going to happen? It's like, when am I going to get this, or when am I going to meet that, or there's this kind of a deep introspection going on where you're feeling like nothing's going to change, and then all of a sudden, I feel like the Magician is going to come in and they're going to have their moment of, basically their magic wand, and sprinkling the stardust everywhere, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my goodness, oh, this is why I had to wait, or this is why I had to rest, because it's like literally you're flying out of the starting gate and you're going, it's 100 miles an hour or 100 kilometers an hour, depending where you are. So it's like, don't be afraid this month, just understand that your blessings are coming, and the things that you've been working towards. Hard work never goes unrewarded, even if we think it doesn't necessarily get a reward, it always does. The rewards always find us, as hard as it may be to understand that at the time. Looking back with retrospect is a great thing to do. So just pay attention to that. Now where we've got, we've got the Empress as well. So again, that building and that creation foundation. I didn't mean that to rhyme there. Did it rhyme? I don't know. So that kind of creativeness, that abundance that we're talking about here, it's time for you to understand that what you initially set out to have, it's in its gestation period. There's things that I feel that you still need to learn about yourself. The inner wisdom that you have, that it's like what's coming through is there's untapped potential that you have within yourself that needs to be nurtured. It needs to be discovered. And it's almost like, you need to take the opportunity to tease that information out. To make it known to yourself and to trust your own instincts. One of the things about the Empress is, she's a very instinctive character of the tarot. Everybody assumes it's a high priestess. It's like the psychic one, if you like, or the intuitive one, but there's that with the Empress, there's this deep level of intuition where and it kind of gets overshadowed oftentimes with the abundance or the kind of a pregnancy trope, if but there is that feeling of gestation where you're so close. I feel like there's some of you here that are just so close to achieving your goals and achieving what you've set your mind to, what you've been manifesting with the Magician energy here. So come kind of a maybe, well, we could say it's like when Venus goes into Gemini. No, in fact, Venus is in Gemini now, right? So that could be like a indicator, of saying during this time, there's going to be a kind of speeding up of your abundance. And don't forget that Venus and the Empress, they deal with finances as well. So it could be that your financial situation is going to improve, or that's something that you need to look at in order to move forward with your plans. And then we'll talk about the Emperor, right? Okay, so we'll talk about the royal couples, if you like, partnerships here. And I don't think that we can escape that fact. It's like the fact that we are in Gemini season. Gemini is related to the sign of the Lovers, is related to the sign of choice. But with these two cards coming out together, it feels very much whereby there will be an alignment. It feels like at some point during June, you will feel like there is going to be an opportunity where things just fall into place. Now, what's coming through to me in my mind is it's like Tetris. I'm sure you all know Tetris are a version of the game where it's like you need to kind of put all the bits together to make the rows and you win the points, and that's what's coming through. And it's as if like for so long you've only been getting like square bits and you've been looking for like the wee T-shaped things, and you've had to kind of rearrange things, and you've been hoping that you get enough shapes to make the rows so that you don't run out of space. I know that's a kind of a weird analogy, but just go with me in this, okay? And then the Magician's coming in to say, right, do you know what? I've got all the places, you've got this really good, strong foundation, and the Emperor and the Empress. So the Empress, so what's feeling is the Magician has brought about the circumstances for the Emperor and the Empress to make this strong foundation, make this power dynamic, whether it's a power couple or it's you personally in alignment with both sides of your personality, whether you're kind of stronger facing masculine personality, and it's more kind of a in tune and in harmony with your feminine side. And when I say masculine and feminine, I mean the energies. I'm not being gender specific. It's yin and yang, if you like, if you prefer that term. And then your Magician has just come in with the finishing touches and says, right, okay, now the time is right. Now the time is taking forward. And it could be, there's time, there's an opportunity coming up whereby you're going to meet people who are like that Emperor and Empress energy, and they just work so well together. Or you come across a company, or you know, another relationship, just something that comes across and you look at it and you're like, that's where I need to be, or that's the kind of energy that I need to embody in order to make my plans and make my goals go forward. And I think that is the key for June 2023. You know, we have got some powerful aspects, we have got some beautiful energy, we've got some beautiful trines between many of the planets in Gemini that will be travelling through Gemini in relation to Pluto and Aquarius. So there's some really harmonious energies, as I say, coming through. So I hope that that makes sense, and I hope that you can take something from that. It's been an absolute pleasure to read for you, and as I say, I will see you later in the month, and hopefully we will get to know each other better. Okay, take care, lots of love, bye.